Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. How are you? I hope all of you are fine. Welcome everyone to the class of Bangladesh and Global Studies. And today I am sharing a lecture on chapter 2, The Independent Bangladesh. I am Rushdia Haq, lecturer, Department of Geography, Milestone College. So, students, let's come to our main lesson. Today we will learn about section 2.2, the rules of Bangabandhu in the reconstruction of Bangladesh and aftermath. The independent government of Bangladesh came to Dhaka from India on 22nd December 1971 after a bloody war of 9 months and assumed office. 10th January 1972, Bangabandhu came back to Bangladesh and took the responsibility as the head of the government. Now, come to the reconstruction process of a war-torn country. Okay. When Bangladesh achieved the independence, it was fallen into ruins. Laments for losing kin, outpouring of grief and tears made the air heavy. A huge number of roads, bridges, culverts, industries, etc. were demolished, and government fund was also empty. So, the newly independent nation, it was a big challenge for the newly independent nation for the rehabilitation of 1 crore refugees, reconstruction of thousands of houses in the villages and urban areas, providing food, cloth, medicine, shelter to 7 crore people, and restore law and order. And Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman started with the reconstruction of a war-torn country. First of all, drafting of a new constitution and its enforcement. Bangabandhu first proclaimed a temporary constitution order on 11 January 1972, and a draft constitution formulating committee of 34 members were formed in the first session of the National Assembly on 10 January 1972. Then the committee drafted a constitution and submitted the National Assembly on 12th October 1972, and the constitution was adopted on 4th November and enforced since 16 December 1972. And there were some fundamental principles like democracy, socialism, secularism, and nationalism. Okay, then the Ganaparishad. Bangabandhu brought into force an order called the Bangladesh Ganaparishad on 23rd March 1972. All elected members of the National and Provincial Assembly were considered the members of the Ganaparishad. The purpose of making the Ganaparishad is to form a new constitution. Next, nationalism of abandoned industries. The Pakistani industrialists set up factories including Adamji in the land of Bangladesh during the Pakistani rules. As the owners of those factories left the country, the government of Sheikh Mujib nationalized all the abandoned industries and brought under the ownership of the state. The nationalism of the primary education. There were 38,000 primary schools in the land of Bangladesh during the Pakistani rules. The teachers who had been serving these schools, they received a very small salary from the government, so Bangabandhu nationalized the primary schools. Then a committee for new education policy. Bangabandhu government formed a new committee for education policy headed by eminent scientists Dr. Kudrat-e-Khuda in 1972, and the committee submitted a policy for the scientific education in 1974. The relief and rationing system. Bangabandhu government distributed to the affected families with blankets, food and money that came as donations from foreign countries in 1972. Then general election of 1973. The first general election was held on 7th March 1973. It was the first election in sovereign and independent Bangladesh. The Awami League won the election with absolute majority. Next, the financial policy for 5 years. Bangabandhu government formed a 5-year planning commission and took initiatives to reform the commerce, industry, agriculture and other sectors to rebuild a war-affected country as recommended by the commission. Bangabandhu government also waived all land taxes with arrears up to 1972. Okay. Then the second revolution program. It was a great program by Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman for an operation-free society. When Bangladesh was busy with repairing the immeasurable losses caused by the war, hike in oil price in the international market, food crisis, and crop failure for the flood in 1973-1974 put the country into a great crisis. And there were many conspiracies where conspirators were active in the country, and so Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman formed Bangladesh Krishak Shramik League, Krishak Shramik Awami League. In short, its name as Bakshal, with the leaders and actives of Awami League, NAP and Communist Party and other parties for achieving the economic emancipation and creating an exploitation-free nation. It's known as, the whole program is known as Second Revolution. Okay, next come to the foreign policy. Bangabandhu declared friendship with all, no enmity towards anybody. That means friendship with all, malice to none. This is the foreign policy for Bangladesh. He had called upon the world community to recognize Bangladesh and assist in the effort of reconstruction of the country. So, 140 countries recognized Bangladesh as a sovereign and independent country. And Soviet Union also helped Bangladesh in sweeping land mines from the Chittagong port. Then the withdrawal of the Indian Mitra Bahini. It was a great task by Bangabandhu government, and Mitra Bahini played a great role in defeating the Pakistani army, but Bangabandhu requested Indira Gandhi, the Prime Minister of India, to take back the troops and did not give the local and international communities any chance to make any false propaganda. Then in 1972, in March, they left the country. Bangladesh in the international community. Bangladesh became a member of Commonwealth in 1972. It also got membership in United Nations or UN on 17 September 1974. Bangladesh got membership for Non-Aligned Movement or NAM. Bangabandhu was awarded Julio Curie Peace Prize by World Peace Council. So Bangabandhu and Awami League had to face many conspiracy, but Bangabandhu actually reconstructed the war-torn country, and the government achieved a significant success in different fields during their short tenure. Come to the next lesson, the background of formulating the Constitution. As we know that the Constitution is the topmost document of a country. It reflects the purpose, mission and vision of a state. As the head of the government, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman proclaimed a temporary constitution order on 11 January 1972. Then the parliamentary form of government was established under the order instead of the presidential form of government. There were some key features of the temporary constitution, and it was told that it must be enforced very immediately. Then a Ganaparishad was formed for holding the assembly of the constitution. Bangabandhu proclaimed Bangladesh Ganaparishad order on 23rd March 1972 to prepare our constitution, in which the aspiration and dream of the nation would be reflected. And then the main objective of the Ganaparishad was to, as I have told you before, to prepare the constitution. The first session was held on 10th April 1972, and there were 34 members there, and Dr. Kamal Hossain headed the formulating committee. A female member also there, Suranjit Sengupta, a then leader of NAP, Muzaffar, was the member of the committee. And then the draft constitution was placed as a bill at the second session of the Ganaparishad on 12th October 1972 and was adopted on 4th November 1972 and enforced since 16 December. While addressing on the constitution, Bangabandhu said, "This constitution is written with the blood of the martyrs, and it will remain alive as a symbol of aspiration and dream of the people." So this was the background of formulating the constitution. Okay, next come to the characteristics of the constitution of 1972. The original constitution of 1972 was significant for the distinctive characteristics for the sovereign country of Bangladesh. There were some characteristics of the constitutions which I have written. The constitution was written, it was non-changeable. 4 fundamental principles of state policy was written there. 4 fundamental policy state policy were democracy, socialism, secularism, and nationalism. And then it has been told that defending the fundamental rights of the people, it's the main characteristics, one of the main characteristics of the constitution. Bangladesh was described as a unitary state. Then people's sovereignty is established in the constitution. Constitution was stated as the supreme law. Introduction of the parliamentary democracy is here. The parliament may provide for the establishment of office ombudsman according to the article number 77. Introduction of one person, one vote policy, and the parliament will be of the single assembly. So these were the main characteristics of the constitution of 1972. I am giving you an HW on the background of the constitution and the characteristics of the constitution. You will have to write down these 2 questions in your HW copies and you will have to submit it on the next class. Thank you everyone. I hope all of you have understood my lecture. Thank you.